Have you ever considered that behind the creation of the world as we know it, there could be an epic cosmic battle? Genesis chapter 1 presents us with a universe in formation, an initial chaos that soon transforms into order under God's hand. But what if this transformation wasn't just a simple act of creation, but the result of a titanic struggle between divine forces and fallen beings? Prepare yourself for an intriguing journey that delves into the mysteries of Genesis and beyond, where surprising revelations await. In this video, we will explore how some theories suggest that the chaos described at the beginning of Genesis could be linked to a secret celestial war that shaped the cosmos even before creation. If you're fascinated by biblical mysteries and eager to uncover secrets that might change your understanding of the scriptures, subscribe to our channel now. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on our upcoming deep and revealing explorations and help expand our quest to uncover hidden truths within the scriptures. Don't miss out. The creation detailed in Genesis 1 begins with an earth that was formless and empty, engulfed in primordial void. This seemingly simple description has sparked profound debates. Some scholars suggest that this chaotic state might reflect the consequences of a previous celestial battle, a cosmic conflict that preceded the divine order that would follow. It's as if the earth, before being shaped and organized by God, had been the battleground of an epic struggle that left its traces. In this chaotic backdrop, God begins to form the world. He separates the waters, creates light, and establishes dry land. Each act of creation can be seen as a response to the pre-existing disorder, an effort to restore harmony after a possible confrontation. This perspective is not only fascinating, but also places God's creative act in a context of restoration and absolute power, contrasting with the chaos that preceded it. This mysterious and tumultuous backdrop adds an intriguing layer to our understanding of creation and opens doors for deeper exploration into the nature of order and chaos in the universe. This view of the initial chaos in Genesis 1 is intriguing, especially when we consider what follows. The narrative describes the transformation of the earth through a series of creative acts by God, each bringing order to an aspect of primordial chaos. However, what stands out is how this chaotic scenario aligns with other biblical narratives about creation and the fall. For instance, the term Nephilim in Genesis 6 to 1 to 4, which mentions the sons of God and the daughters of men, is often associated with supernatural beings and, by some, interpreted as the result of interactions between fallen angels and humans. This interpretation suggests that the corruption and chaos described in Genesis 6 could be a continuation or consequence of a cosmic conflict that began before creation. Therefore, when considering the chaotic state of the earth at the beginning of Genesis, we might wonder if the chaos is not just a backdrop, but a reflection of the spiritual battles and invisible struggles that shaped creation. Each element of the order that God brought forth could be seen not just as a creative act, but also as a response to the disorder that followed these celestial events. This connection between the chaos described in Genesis and the possible consequences of the celestial battle leads us to explore the identity of the Nephilim mentioned in Genesis 6 to 1 to 4, the Text speaks of sons of God who took wives from the daughters of men, resulting in a race of powerful and controversial beings known as the Nephilim. The identity of these beings has been a subject of debate for centuries. Some scholars interpret the sons of God as fallen angels, a view suggesting a continuity between celestial rebellion and the corruption that occurred on earth. If the Nephilim truly resulted from the interaction between celestial beings and humans, it adds a new dimension to the idea that the chaos in creation might have roots in supernatural conflicts. This interpretation implies that God's attempt to bring order to the cosmos was not merely about structuring the physical world, but also about confronting and correcting the effects of a cosmic rebellion. The existence and influence of the Nephilim could then be seen as a tangible reflection of the consequences of a celestial battle, a visible trace of the chaos that preceded the created order. Thus, the world described in Genesis, one might be more deeply intertwined with the issues of order and chaos extending to the events narrated in Genesis 6. The idea that the Nephilim may be the result of interactions between fallen angels and humans prompts a deeper reflection on the implications of celestial rebellion. To enrich this view, it is essential to consider other biblical texts that address the fall of angels and the nature of cosmic rebellion. Isaiah 14:12-15 and Ezekiel 28-12:17 offer glimpses into the fall of powerful angelic figures. Often associated with Lucifer or Satan, these texts describe the pride and fall of a celestial being who sought to equalize himself with God and was eventually cast out of heaven. Isaiah's narrative presents a being who tried to elevate himself above his status, while Ezekiel describes the downfall of an anointed cherub who became corrupt. These descriptions intertwine with the idea that the chaos at the beginning of Genesis might have roots in the rebellion of these beings. If the fall of angels and the subsequent impact on the cosmos is a reality, then the creation described in Genesis can be viewed as an act of restoration and reordering after a period of great turmoil. This interpretation suggests that creation was not only a work of divine engineering, but also a response to the disorder caused by celestial rebellion. This perspective of a previous celestial rebellion aligns with the narrative found in Revelation 12:7-9, where a heavenly conflict is described with Michael and his angels fighting against the dragon and his angels. The dragon, identified as Satan, is cast out of heaven, and this battle results in a great war in the cosmos. Revelation offers a symbolic and dramatic portrayal of a struggle between forces of good and evil, a struggle that can be seen as reflecting the disorder and chaos that preceded the creation described in Genesis. If this battle indeed occurred, it could have been one of the events contributing to the chaotic state of Earth at the beginning of the Genesis account. What is fascinating here is how this celestial battle is presented as a turning point, where order is restored and evil is defeated, allowing creation to proceed under a new divine order. This narrative not only reinforces the idea that the chaos in Genesis might have deep roots, but also illustrates how creation and restoration are closely tied to the great spiritual battles described in other biblical texts. This connection between the celestial battle described in Revelation and the chaos in Genesis gains further depth when we explore extra-biblical and apocryphal texts, such as the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish work not included in the biblical canon, provides a detailed narrative about the fall of angels and their consequences on earth. In this text, the Watchers are described as angels who descended to earth and took human wives, generating a race of giants. These angels, also referred to as the sons of God mentioned in Genesis 6, are portrayed as having challenged the celestial order. The ensuing corruption, including the creation of the Nephilim, is seen as a direct reflection of their rebellion. The Book of Enoch also details the punishment of these angels, who are imprisoned and await final judgment. This narrative supports the idea that the chaos and disorder on earth may be direct consequences of the fall of these celestial beings. Thus, the vision of a celestial struggle and its impact on the creation described in Genesis is enriched by the additional stories and explanations found in apocryphal texts, offering a more comprehensive understanding of the impact of this cosmic rebellion. Integrating these narratives, both biblical and extra-biblical, suggests that the creation in Genesis is not merely a story of order emerging from chaos, but also a response to significant cosmic events. The scenario described in Genesis 1, with the earth initially formless and void, can be seen as a stage of restoration following a great celestial rebellion. This understanding provides a powerful perspective on divine creation, not as an isolated act of order, but as an effort to remedy and reorder the cosmos after profound turmoil. Each creative act of God, from separating the waters to forming man, not only establishes order, but also symbolizes victory over the forces of chaos that had previously prevailed. Thus, as we reflect on these layers of meaning, we realize that creation is more than a mere process of establishing the physical world. It is a narrative of restoration, overcoming chaos, and establishing a new order. This interpretation not only enriches our understanding of the beginning of creation, but also offers a broader view of the ongoing struggle between good and evil that shapes the universe and human experience.